Hi, boys and girls. I'm going to look for the very center of my paper. And when you're looking for the very center, you can do a couple of different things. You can just eye it and say, okay, this is the center of my paper. So I'm going to draw it with my finger first. And I'm going to say, okay, so if that's the center, it should be about the same size on both sides. So I'm just drawing a line in the center of my paper. Halfway down. This half is the same as this half. Dotted line. Then I'm going to make an image right here, and it's just a loop. I just did some loops. Make a loop back down to my paper. Now I'm going to make a second loop, give it a little bit of space, make a second loop, a little bit bigger, and this time I'm going to go in and I'm going to make a triangle over it. Now I'm going to make another loop, this time a little bit bigger, and I'm giving it a little bit more space. And I'm going to kind of try to get it in between the end and this space and make it a little bit bigger. And back down. So you can see I gave it a little bit more space. So I'm going to make a triangle over this one, trying to make the point right in the center of that loop, wherever that loop is. And then I'm going to come back down on the other side, trying to give the same amount of space on both sides. I'm going to switch colors now. I'm going to give it a little bit of space, and I'm going to repeat that triangle. Trying to give it the same amount of space all the way up, stopping at that point, coming back down, trying to give it that same amount of space on both sides. Now I am going to attempt to do a mirror image, and that is trying to go right up to that shape I just made and doing the exact same thing below it and trying to get the exact same shape and size. And I didn't quite accomplish it, did I? The bottom one is a little bit more narrow than the top one. And so I'm going to go back in and I'm going to work on that a little bit. And you know me, I like to work with my mistakes. Maybe then, since I made that mistake and it came in on that side, maybe I'll go ahead and do that on this side. And so see how that, just doing that kind of makes up for the mistake. And sometimes making a mistake is the best thing you could do, because sometimes when you're doing form drawing, you can end up making some kind of a really neat form. And it doesn't matter if you're using the same colors you did before. You don't have to. With these kinds of mirrored forms, you're just showing that mirror. Then to go into this one, and I'm really going to look at that space that I made there. And look at that loop and think, okay, so if that loop went that far that way, it's going to go about that far that way. And I'm going to pick a completely different color. And I'm going to really try to mirror what I did on that side. And we'll look. And it's pretty good. It could be better. So it looks like I need this to be a little bit wider. So that looks a little bit more like it. So since I did it there, I'm going to go in and make there. See how just doing that fixes that mistake. It really also helps you, this really helps you to train your eye to do when you're going to do your cursive writing. It just helps you to be more precise. And again, I'm trying to mirror this triangle, thinking about where it's going to stop, thinking about where it's going to end. I might even make this line even darker. We're kind of all over the place with color. It does not matter with these. I'm actually not making a design with this. There's not going to be an end design here. You're just learning how to do mirror images. You could even go back over into here and maybe this time making a thin frame around your form. And that is finished. You can always go back in though and add more to these. So I'm going to go back in and I'm going to kind of play around with this design a little bit. Make a thick line here and here. Really trying to make about the same width frame around. And change colors, 'cause I can. And you see how I'm now holding that pencil to the side to make a thick line. I might even make a really thick line side of my pencil. Just keep going in, over it, and over it. You could just keep going with this. Just keep going with more patterns as long as you're mirroring it.